And which ones did you want to go over?
The Razor one, second from the top, and then scroll down a little more, and we'll do the Clockwerk loss, and then oh fuck, what was the last one? Then and then also the OD loss.
Which Clockwerk loss?
The one it should be AA Omni Knight and then Clockwerk.
Oh, on your okay. A Omni Knight Clockwerk. And then the OD loss.
We'll do the OD one last, I think, because it was like short and we had someone give up, but that doesn't mean the early game went well either. But
I think I broke it by trying to download everything. Alright. So I fucked it up. Launching Dota. Come on, Dotes. Don't let me down. We're good. Alright. So you wanted to do the Razor one first?
yeah, I think that'll be a good one because it's like it started off really well and then went really bad. If you could show your screen, I would really appreciate it.
No. I'm gonna start having all of my students watch my stream instead.
Oh, where do I do that?
I only use it for coaching, so it's kind of like just strictly inferior to watching my YouTube videos.
Here, now you can have one viewer.
Yo, I'm fucking on this shit too on my second monitor, and I guess I don't count as a person. So I hate singing Yasha on like everyone. And on ranged heroes, the slow is half as good. I probably would have rather seen a Hurricane Pike, because it's got like kind of the same stats, and the force is really good for either catching up with people, or if you've gotten a long link and you hit people with 4 attacks, when you have all that damage, it's really good. And the drums also kind of suck, unless you guys are trying to end it early. Because, like, drums and Sengen Yasha are both, like, useless, like, 3 minutes after you get them, right? Or, like, that's when they start falling off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright, the call thing was yellow. So usually what you do when the build is I'm gonna start with you needed another branch, and the reason for that is you can put it in your inventory instead of this, and then use it on one of your tangos, and then still have enough tangos left to get a wand. So the very easy way to look at it is, if you want to get a wand, you go for 3 branches. If you don't want to get a wand, you go for one branch and you go for a fairy fire. And every time you eat that one branch with one of your tangos for either build.
Okay.
And here you should be, whenever he pops up, you should be right-clicking him and trying to pull the creeps back. Because it's kind of like he shouldn't be able to be in this position. Like you agree that the only reason that he's even allowed to be here with his, what is it, like 30 damage and your 70, or yes, 60 damage, 70 damage, yeah. You have like twice the damage he does. So if you have the creeps pulled back, he can't do anything in this lane. But because you didn't, he still hasn't done anything. But that's only because he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So like you should, whenever he pops up here, just try and right click him when he pops up. And it's pretty obvious where he's going to be. He's going to be like in this area, and now he's walking over here, so when he comes up he'll be in this area. And I would be going for your boots first, because your boots mean you have more damage with your static link, and your Bassie is kind of like you have like 5 more or 6 more damage. And I think you're supposed to start with this. I don't play Razor enough to know. But this is just gonna like keep your lane pushed, which is like not really something that you want so much. Cause like imagine if the creep wave was always right here, and you had boots right now. If he comes up, you're just gonna link him and then hit him with this, and then like right click him 3 or 4 times, and he has no health and no damage.
You know what, I'm gonna have to redo the call here. It's really laggy.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Hopefully this doesn't kill it. Are you still with me, my friend?
I'm still with you. It's just the video itself is still fucked.
Let me stop streaming then and see if that helps. Is it better now? At all?
No, it's actually a little worse.
Or awful? Here. Let's try...
I closed all my shit. Let me go see if my dad's downloading anything.
Is gay porn?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Here, let me try something. Is this any better? Are we good?
Well, now I can... The video showed up now, it's just I'm getting like 5 frames a second. Okay, that's a little better.
Okay. I canceled the upload of the other guy's lesson for now. That might have been doing
fuck
it.
Him.
Yeah. We're awful. Is it good now?
Yeah.
Like good enough?
Good enough for now.
Alright, so I don't know how much you picked up, but the Bassie instead of the boots, did you hear that?
Yeah, I got that whole thing because it helps you get in range for link.
Yeah. And then this is just pushing your lane out. And if you had the creep wave here instead with your boots, you can just run him down and link him, and he'll have no damage and no health, and then he can't get anything out of lane. But with, you had your Aquila on for a while, and then you had this zapping out every 5 seconds, so you're like basically indefinitely pushing out the lane, which is giving a guy that has no business being in your lane the ability to be in your lane. And now he's level 4, so a triple raise and you're just dead. Which kind of like impedes on your whole running at him thing. So if you do want to run at him at this point, you have to make sure that it's not you getting triple raised. And you see how your E hasn't really helped you at all in this lane yet?
Yeah, I see that.
I don't think it's hit him a single time. All it's done is push the wave into him. Raffle didn't hit him there either. Okay, good. I think here I'd be going for a Force Staff. Because it solves your health regen problems. It helps a little bit with your mana, and then it builds into a Hurricane Pike. Which, Hurricane Pike kind of does the job of Drums and Sangenyasha in a sense. It allows you to get on top of them instead of stay on top of them. But like with this, if they're not in a crowded place, it's pretty easy to stay on top of them anyways. Because it's a 40-second slow, or 40% slow for 2 out of 5 seconds, which adds up to something like, what would that be? 23% slow consistently. And then with your phase and your movement speed naturally, you're able to stay on top of people. And the Hurricane Pike would allow you to get on people so that this can start working quicker than your Drums and Sangenyasha would. Plus your Sangenyasha don't solve your health problems at all. And if you Hurricane Pike somebody with a bunch of damage, you can kill them easily. I think Drums is decent on Razor, but it has to be if you're pushing early.
Right.
Like, imagine if you got the Ring of Protection here, or the Ring of Regen for your Force Staff here. Wouldn't you be feeling... You'd, like, probably be at, like, 900 health right now.
Yeah, probably.
And then you should turn on your Aquila here, pop your Drums.
None of which happened.
Yeah. You would have done, like, 300-400 more damage there. Your ult's kind of overkill there. You should be pushing this tower, though. You just killed 2 people. They used Ravage. You have 4 people at a tower. I would have left the Pudge and somebody else to have dealt with the Shadow Fiend. Does that make sense?
No, can you go through that?
Yeah. If you need me to explain anything, just let me know. So here, You killed their carry, you killed their Tidehunter. He doesn't have Ravage. Do they have any way to stop you from pushing right now?
No, but what sent me back was I didn't want to give like Shadow Fiend the free tower mid.
Well,
That's
you
why
can
I
have
went back.
you have a lot, like your Sand King and Pudge can deal with that. But your Sand King and Pudge can't push the tower. So like a hook, this guy's level 6, yeah. So a hook dismember under tower with a burrow strike is a kill on the Shadow Fiend. Or if they show up, then the Shadow Fiend can just like be pushed back to the tower. Also, this guy only has 18 souls, which I'm sure you didn't check, and I probably wouldn't have either. But he's not going to be able to do too much damage to this tower, and this tower is more important to take than this one is. So,
And why is that?
because when you take this tower, it opens up, like the line that you're pretty much safe on. Would you agree that about, it's hard to point out, but it's kind of like if you follow my cursor, you're pretty much safe along this line. When you have all of the tier 1s up, when you're the Dire.
Right.
So when you lose the mid tower, it kind of like goes from like this to like dipping in a tiny little bit, but not so much. But when you lose this tower, you lose like all of this right here over. So you lose this whole little chunk, which has 2 camps and a bounty rune, and it's where their carry's supposed to be. And then when their carry can't go to their lane, they have to like go over here instead. And then they have the whole the Tidehunter and the Drow and the Sniper are farming the same spots or whatever. Whereas when you take mid, all that really opens up is this guy can get an easier ward like here or here, and then like Roshan later on in the game. One sec, I need a drink. Does that make sense? How this tower is more important than this one? It's basically the safe lane tower, and then the mid one, and then the off lane. And then for the tier 2s, it's the same also.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense with this tower being more important than this one?
Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, kind of the map control, but, like, and this, my issue here is it's specific to this game, but, like, the Shadow Fiend is a hero that, like, really benefits from, I guess, the mid lane being pushed out, because then he can just run around and farm the camps near the shrine and farm the large camp.
Well, what's stopping you from doing what you were doing the whole time mid, where you're just pushing it out constantly and then attacking the tower? Like, he has treads and a Aquila. If he shows up to the lane, you have your phase, you have your drums, you can run him the fuck down with this. And if this hits him, then it's just kind of like, unless he gets a triple raise and an ult on you, you kill him. So, unless they're coming with 3 people here, you're not really worried about it. And then with this pushed out, if your supports get a ward here, you kind of like take over. These camps are even hard to do when you have vision here. So it takes up a bunch of the map, and it's kind of like, you can take this, and then your supports might defend this, they should, and you can take this, and then you can take this, and then with both of these down, you have Roshan as an option, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with a ward here, and then like a ward here, they can't really stop you from doing Rosh, especially with the Tidehunter's Ravage being down.
Yeah.
So is all of this making more sense?
Yeah, and then also if you throw up a ward at that spot you pointed out near the shrine, like the one above and to the right, then that gives you vision of those 2 camps also, which will also slow down the Shadow Fiend. So I guess it kind of Yeah, it is. It's more valuable, I guess, if you can take away the jungle.
Well, yeah,
You'll really fuck the SF over.
It inherently takes away the jungle. Even if your supports don't ward it, which they, like, when I have this tower down, I usually ward here, because it's just kind of, like, so important. But even if they don't, the only thing that you're worried about is this guy ravaging you or this guy stopping your TP. Because they can't kill you if you just TP out, unless this guy has Shadow Blade. And he's going drums. Like, he would have to ult on top of you, and then you can die with Shadow Blade. But yeah, when you take this tower, you can push this, and then you'll probably meet the next wave, and then one of their guys has to come top, and that'll open up you guys to push mid, take this, and then Roshan will be open, and they won't have a Ravage might be back up by then. But yeah, does that all makes a lot more sense now?
Yeah, it's kind of like you can even if he does get the tier 1 there, which we'll just push it right back.
Yeah, and it's like, look at your tower's health, and look at his tower's health, and look at how many people you have here, and you also have however much damage. You have drums, you have the agility talent. You're gonna fucking melt this tower compared to him. You attack every second, and you do like 170 damage. He attacks quicker than that, but he does like not even close to that. And he doesn't have the drums, so he's not gonna be able to use the active. So it's like, you're gonna melt this tower, and he's just gonna like kind of attack it. And then if a Pudge TPs and he sees the Pudge TP, even that's enough to make this guy want to back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a Pudge alone, he's probably gonna run for it.
Yeah, because it's like, is he really gonna fucking stay there to attack the tower with any threat to him when he can just go jungle instead?
No, of course not.
But yeah.
Instead, we gave it up.
Yeah, and then he gets how much tower damage? Yeah, he gets over 1,000 tower damage on this. And you guys get the kill on him, but like, or you could have had this and then taken this and then taken Roche.
And he's gonna come back in 20 seconds and just keep farming. So like. Yeah. I think they get the tower tonight, and not quite, but still.
And I think you need to understand, they have better late game than you. Because they have these 3 cores, and then they have this guy. Whereas you guys kind of just have you fall off more than any of them. Like, you probably fall off about as much as Dro, but she also provides damage to these 3 guys. And the right click from her is not to be underestimated in the later game, because she attacks pretty fast. And she's going treads, and she gets 3.3 agility. So she's going to be hitting like a truck eventually. And then this guy's going to get shit like his cooldown reduction. If it goes super late, the refresher shard. He can also get like an actual refresher. And all of that causes a lot of problems for you guys. But you guys just kind of like have the Sven, and then if Pudge gets huge, this guy falls off inherently. Like, he gets more slippery and harder to kill, and he gets more stuns off, but he doesn't really like do more damage. This falls off when they get BKBs, and then the later the game goes, the more health they have, and this doesn't scale like right clicks do. So I think they have, like, I think late games like 65-35 favored in their end. But even still, if you just look at the early game with Tidehunter's Ravage down, you guys dick them down 4v5, and your Sven gets a lot of farm then, and then can carry the mid game. So your goal should be using these drum charges to burn down the towers, and you're being very conservative with them. And here you definitely run too far. I'd be going on the sniper.
So are you still opposed to the drum pickup?
It's not that the drum pickup's bad, it's that you're not using it the way that you should be using it if you pick it up.
Right, okay.
So you should be using it with your, especially when you're, this whole build, the Phase Aquila drums wand is all, I want to be strong as fuck right now. And you're not really like pressing your dick inside of them with it. So it's like, for what, dude?
It's just flapping around like outside, yeah.
It's just like smacking them in the face, but like really, you need to be like, you need to get in
gently,
there.
Though.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You gotta get the dick example for it to...
Oddly, yes.
And that's just kind of like, I think that might have been the defining feature of the loss, this fight right here. Because, like, you guys shouldn't really be losing fights.
That's why I kind of just backed up. It was like 3 dead, and I was like,
Yeah, you should be backing up.
But yeah, it went south from this point on, so you're probably right.
Yeah, it's just like you guys need to be winning the early game, especially with your build, and then you guys just had 3 die. With Epicenter. And like, maybe if you took that tower top, this fight wouldn't have happened. Which is like something that you can't predict, but... Raffle Lamau. Do you want to skip through the rest of it and go to another one?
Yeah, sure.
Because I think that's basically, you built early and you didn't play for early. And then what was the other one? The second Clockwerk?
Yeah, that one.
Dude, you played with fear?
Huh.
Spirit Fist. I probably went for the Ags instead of the Spirit Vessel here. Because this guy has a channeled ult. This guy has a channeled spell. She's slippery and she's slippery. And your Ags is much better for all of that than Spirit Vessel. The only thing Spirit Vessel's good for is when this guy ults. But so is your Ags, and so is your Battery Assault, and so is your Cogs. So like what Ags allows you to do is like hook, Battery Assault, and then like on these two, and then like Force Staff to keep up with them for their leap or their orb, depending on how far the orb goes. And then if she leaps again, you can hook shot. If this guy tries to blink out, you can flare and hook shot because it's up again. And your team has enough damage, like more than enough damage, So all you need to do is be the lockdown, because the only lockdown you have is setups that you provide for your AA's cold feet and your clock's chronosphere. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Free mango, balanced game.
Hell yeah. Whenever it's clock bonus day, I'm always on it.
PogChamp. And here it's kind of like,
I think oh, you know what it was? I went to pee during that. That's why I didn't go out there.
Well, I was gonna say, you're like, alright, you already lost the mid. You see your Quap going for the rune, you should probably be blocking. But if you were peeing, then that's acceptable.
Thank you.
Yep. Which I'm sure you're not, because you're fucking moving your mouse and you just suck. You should block mid. Dude, I really want a fucking oatmeal raisin cookie. I don't know why.
Are you like a pregnant woman with like cravings?
Nice. Guess what I'm gonna say here?
That it's a goon shit and that I shouldn't do that?
Nope. I'm gonna say it, wait. It's gonna be... Right, guess what I'm gonna say right now?
Eat a tango?
No. What's missing from this picture?
Oh. Yeah.
Huh?
Bye.
Yeah? And then what's gonna be missing right here?
About 90 gold.
Yeah. So that would have been your windlace. And then... Oh. Yeah, It could have been your fucking wand, actually. You would have lived here if you had a wand. Even though you lived anyways, my statement's still true. And then here, you know you're not going to do anything middle, because you're level 1. And you're low health, so I'd be going top. Now you have a full wave, so you better take this shit. And this is just like something that you see after enough games. Usually when the creeps pull to you like this, the range creeps are getting attacked by the towers next, because it prioritizes whoever's attacking the tower and is the closest, but nobody is attacking the tower, so there's nobody in that range. And then it's just whoever's closest, basically. So it's, you're going to notice that the range creeps are almost always going to be closest to the tower when they follow you like this. So I'd be getting this last hit, and then I'd be going over here and smacking this one. And then you can get that last hit too. And that's just something that you'll start noticing. And then that'll be like maybe one extra last hit a game or whatever, but... Here, what you can be doing is you can be trying to body the puck when she uses her orb to back you. I'd probably like stay around here, because if she doesn't hug the creep wave and she runs up, then you can like zone her, or at least, because the lane's gonna be so pushed. The Pudge is here, but you didn't know that, or didn't have vision of it. You could be like right here, if the Pudge isn't here. You could be right here, and then like the puck has to play defensively, kind of. Or you just see this Pudge and you'd back off. But going top, it's fine because the Pudge is mid, but again, you don't have that knowledge yet. So you're walking up into a Shadow Shaman Pudge that the Pudge can just hook you, and then the Shadow Shaman can shackle you, and then you kind of like just die. Is there anything to say about this? Yeah. You had vision of this. You see the Mirana running up there. And you see the Pudge there. Lol, uphill miss.
Yep. 50%.
It's 75. 25% miss chance.
Even better.
Yep. Nyla! Ah, you suck.
I know.
You're the worst. Also, you don't want to be buying the Ring of Protection when you're flying it out. Because you can buy the Ring of Protection at the side shop, and you can buy the recipe and fly that out, and then finish your urn here. Kind of like when Battle Fury used to be made out of broadsword and claymore or whatever it is. You'd buy the one from the shop or from base and fly it out, and then buy the second one from the side shop and immediately have Battle Fury instead of waiting like 50 seconds plus if somebody else is using the courier, it takes longer. Here, you had vision of the Shadow Shaman on the mini-map. I don't know if you knew that he was there or not, but if you saw him, you should have immediately battery assaulted. Because, like, if you had battery assaults, you still would have died, and you do, actually, lol. But he could have opened with, like, shackles there, which you don't really want to deal with. That's just kind of like you set yourself up for this one. The cogs are good, though.
Oh my god, did I kill myself on the fucking dream coil?
You could have wanded. Raw.
Oh my god.
You could have wanded and just stayed there. Nyla! And here you need to be watching, This is at around 7, 8, or 9 minutes. I usually look at the time, and then I look at my experience, and I'm like, alright, a Tome of Knowledge is coming up soon, and my objective is to be about 5 and this much before 10. So I start prioritizing like bounty runes and being in lanes more and shit. And then I buy the tome and I get my level 6. So, like, PogChamp, you did it. I would have had it in the fucking quick buy though. Lol. This guy's fucking retarded. Lol. You need to be taking this out of your backpack whenever you can. Or into your backpack whenever you can. Because getting hit by one spell means you have to spend 225 more gold. Space. Oh. Yeah, it was a little bit late, that's fine, I guess. Here, I would have probably ran out a good little bit earlier from the Shadow Shaman. Because he's pretty much dead, right? Like, yeah. He doesn't really have a way of getting out. So, this kill's basically guaranteed, whereas your death is still up in the air, right?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if he has, like, an Ether Shock left or something.
Yeah, or, like, whatever. Like, a Pudge could even hook you. So I tried to, like, running up here would probably be more dangerous for the Pudge hook, but, yeah.
Oh, you don't say.
Lol.
Fucking 10,000 IQ prediction right there.
Easy game. Dude, fucking PogChamp, you actually got dust. Wow. Color me impressed.
I do listen to you every now and then.
Yeah, just not about quick buy, you fuck. The one thing I've tried to teach you over all of this time.
And I got a little bit of hot potato syndrome with the wards.
Yeah. So the thing with this ward is it's a lot less useful when this tower's up. Because you don't see them if they TP here, and the creep wave is never going to be up to here. So, like, I guess the key points of comparing this with the tier 1 down and not down is if you push the lane, like, to here or here, as this Faceless Void with this ward, it will catch people TPing, but you don't get that benefit with this up. You also don't have the benefit of catching almost anyone that goes to this side when this tier 1's up. And then, what else is there? Those are basically the main ones, really. Just that you're not going to catch people TPing to the most outer tower when going top. That you're not going to have a benefit for split pushing top. And a lot less people are going to be in this area with this tower up. So you're going to see a lot less people. So I think a better ward would have been like behind the tower, like right here, because that would catch anyone coming TPing in this area. If they TP here, they're probably gonna like immediately run out into a creep wave or be seen by the creep wave. And then this will help when you guys push the tower to know if anyone's like TPing right here or defending or anything like that. And then yeah, if anyone's like jungling here, you'll also see them. Next time, don't suck.
No promises.
I try not to get my hopes up. This is good. He used his thing, so this is a really good hook. Lol. Feels bad.
Yeah, it went well though, that fight.
Dude, you're playing with Fear and Blitz?
And we still lost.
Feels bad. It's fine. You got his
fucking
wards.
blew his wards on me all game.
Yeah, it's not the only thing he blew on you.
Hey.
Hey. And I still haven't seen you push with Rocket Flare yet. And it's... You're level 11. So that's huge. The whole you're not using your flares to push thing.
I mean, should you start doing that as soon as you get level 4 flare? Or?
Yeah, basically. You can do it some with 3. Like you can do it with level 1. It's just the cooldown's so long and the damage is so low. That it's like I'd rather just save it for specific last hits. I can't wait to see how you guys throw this game after this lead. Like here you could be, lol.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We're awful.
So basically that's how we threw it.
I would have went in on the Sven there. If you hook shots, I'd run up like right here, and then hook shot like now. With you standing like right here, throw an urn on him, and then force staff this way. And then you would be, he'd have the frostbite on him, he'd have the urn on him, and then you can hit him with a flare. And then he would be like, yeah. Or you could hook the creeps. That works too.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
We're all full of Mel. There you go. There we go. The first flare of the game. Or the first pushing flare of the game. Come on, can we get the second one? Throw it somewhere. Bottom. Throw it bottom. Yeah, it's my boy. Don't you wish you had flare there, Kappa? That flare sucks. If you threw this one, you would have you would have had vision over here for like a half second, which is long enough. Like imagine if you could flicker the whole map, where you see all of the map for a quarter second. Isn't that like a fuck ton of information?
Yeah.
As opposed to seeing 8 seconds of it is not like 16 times better.
Right.
So the same kind of holds true with flare, where if you don't see him here for that quarter second, and then you also don't see him here for that quarter second, and then you also push this out, and they don't deal with this tower, or whatever, or like those are I didn't word that right, but yeah. So if you'd have the quarter second of this, you'd have also the quarter second of this, and then you'd push this out. And then the information of them not defending this tower is more important than having this information. Or them actually defending the tower and then they aren't 5-manning. And like here, if if this was at their tower, wouldn't it be a lot more obvious what they're doing? If the creep wave was attacking their tower for the last 10 seconds, wouldn't it be much more obvious that they're doing something more important than defending this tower?
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, oh, maybe they're trying to contest or smoke up or something like that. Next time, don't get chronoed.
Got it.
And like now, bottom's a problem because you haven't been flaring that at all. Like the tier 1, you lost your tier 1 bottom because you weren't flaring bottom. And if we go back and watch it, we can see how much like one flare would have done. You would have hit, what is that, 7 creeps? 6. And then if you threw another one, then they'd just be on the catapults right now, and then the catapults would die, and you'd still have your tier 1. Or if you just threw it when they were like up here, then it would have never gotten into there. What? No, 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 no. You want to wait for the chronosphere to be ending. You want to hit these three, cogs them in, and then force out. Because what that does is the puck uses one of his escape mechanisms just to get out of cogs, and then the Sven and the Pudge are still stuck in there. But instead, you kind of just you use it as a gap closer. And like you could have even after this, you could have even cogsed right. I think you walk like right here, and you could have got all of them. Yeah, if you cogs right here, and flare, they're all dead. And like you're not using your urn, which is like if you earned the puck, he would have died. He might still die. Yeah, if you earned this guy, he would have been dead, right?
Mm-hmm. Then I tried to go for the Q play here, and I just got fucked.
Did you try and go on this? Get cooked.
Yep.
Here's another small thing. When you're with somebody like your Nakes, who's super good at right-clicking, you want to try and cog so you get both of them in there with you. So if you were a few steps back, you could have also got him, which means the Pudge is dead right now. Instead, you guys have to do all this extra shit, and you die. Oh, you bought back. Okay. You're not using your urn enough.
Like, should I just be throwing it on them during this fight?
Yeah, I probably would have thrown it on the Shadow Shaman to make it so that you don't have to commit an extra, like, quarter second on him. Because when you see him at, like, 14% health, 15% of health, and he's walking away with an urn charge on him, you're like, alright, well, you're fucking dead anyways. And this, like, you wait for no reason for this cogs. The cogs last 8 seconds. You don't have to perfectly time it. You can just throw it out right now. Or before. And now you can't chase because you don't have Ags. And then I don't really like the BKB, really. Because at the point that you would want a BKB, it's usually like, you can just have your Ags and hook in and then, like, position your hooks so that you don't immediately die right after, and you can just cogs and then force staff yourself out. And that's basically as good as having a BKB. Except for you'll have your ult again in 12 seconds instead of for the next fight.
Right.
And this is super risky. You placing that ward, you could have easily just died. like
And
there.
I think we basically just lost from here on out.
Alright.
So I think we're done with this one.
Okay. We can do the OD one.
Yeah.
Was it this one?
Yep.
That one's gonna take too long to go over. Think we should just call it and have you install Minecraft?
No, I'd rather die than install Minecraft.
Or Raffle.
Yeah, we got cucked this game.
Of course, you were mid.
That feels bad.
It's because I don't coach mid, lol. Or at least, not as well as my other roles. It's my fault as a coach that you suck. Whenever you don't perform, it makes me personally hurt. Because it's a reflection of my own abilities.
You must feel very bad by now.
Yeah. And here again, if you're going for the wand, you want 3 branches. If you're not, you want a branch and a fairy fire. Yeah, this is fine. But yeah, wouldn't it be nice for that Tango to still be running? Because you had the branch, and then you would have had the double duration because you would have ate it.
Wait, what?
If you dropped one of your branches and ate them, this Tango would be twice as long. And then right here...
So if you eat a tank, like a branch tree with a Tango, it lasts longer?
Yeah, it lasts twice as long.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The same with wards. Does it say it on it?
Wait, are you
Yes, I'm 100% sure. Consuming, right here, the second sentence. Consuming a ward or iron branch tree, ironwood tree, doubles the heal amount.
Oh, come on, I don't read.
It makes it last... Do you not watch any fucking mid players ever?
No, they always do that, though. I've never understood why.
They're not gonna just
No, I do.
spend 50 gold to fucking not have to walk 3 inches.
That's what I thought it was, and I was always
No.
confused.
It doubles it. And that's why both of those builds, you get 1 branch extra so that you can eat it and have your Tango last longer. Because, like, right now...
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, you would be at, like, this much health when your Tango runs out. And then you wouldn't really need that salve as much. Yeah. And then instead of the salve, you could have got a mango, and then got your iron branch, or your wand or whatever sooner, and then you'd be having that extra, like, what would it be? 1.2 health regen with the mango and 1.8 with the wand. Here, you should definitely be imprisoning him. Like, what does he do if you just run up and imprison him, aside from miss, like, 2 or 3 last hits?
Well, he's slow as shit. He can't run away.
Yeah, and if he's running away, that's the same as imprisoning him, because he can't attack the creeps while running away. And that's just kind of like making sure this guy gets as little as possible throughout the laning phase. Like, he only has, what is that, 4 less last hits, 3 last hits, 1 deny, and you have an ability that, like, stuns him for 4 seconds. So, the way that I like to use this is whenever there's, like, in the next 4 seconds, a last hit and a deny, or 2 last hits, or 2 denies are gonna happen. So it makes sure that this guy misses both of them, and then you have, at the very least, you get one of them. And you haven't really been using this at all.
It's hard to get in range for it. It has such shit range.
Yeah. That's just kind of like, the way that you play that is you know what he's going to be doing in the next few seconds, and then you play around it. So if one of your creeps is going to die in like 2 seconds and none of theirs are, you can run at him so that he either runs away or he runs through you to get the last hit, and then you just imprison him. In either case, you stop him from getting the last hit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Rawful.
Oh man, this was so bad.
Ah, dude, ouch! What the fuck? Why? For what? Jebaited by team. Here. Did you know you can imprison your teammates? It's a pretty cool spell.
Yeah, I did know that. But I'm a greedy player and I wanted the kill.
You would have got the kill. The Pudge would have like.
Well, no, I wanted it for myself. Like I wanted to get the last hit, you know.
But you didn't even use the imprison to do that. Rawful.
I'm not concerned about the well-being of others.
I mean, you just gave the Pudge an extra, what is that, 50 health later on in the game. So he's gonna probably kill you and survive by 50 health. Or he's gonna survive another gank and get an extra 100 health or something because of it. So it's like, you gotta play greedy, but helping your team is greedy as shit, because it hurts the enemy team. Or hurting the other team is greedy because it helps you, or whatever the fuck. Some like moral statements or some shit. You should be flying out your ring of regen.
I think I went for the staff first.
You have no regen.
Just greedy.
Yeah. You don't have any regen, so if like the ring of regen's gonna provide you more last hits. Because you're at a point where, so how this works is if your spell is 1/5 or 1/10 of your mana pool, you can spam it. Because this has a 25% chance to restore 40%. So it equals out to, you get 10% of your mana back per spell you cast. So right now you're getting like 126 mana back every spell you cast, so you can spam this. Meaning you have enough damage to last hit just with this. So what this will do is allow you to stay in lane and get more last hits. Whereas like right now, if Pudge hooks you, you have to go back to base if you even survive. And it's like right now you could be jungling or some shit with your health regen, but you can't because you don't have any. Awful. What did you even come down here for? You even looked. You're not gonna do anything here, and Invoker's just gonna push the lane. Like, you're going into a 3v1. I don't know how to, like, teach how that's wrong.
It's the vaccines, I think. Again.
Yeah, got you. I think what that is just... I'd be looking to get my 4 staff before I even do anything. Because that's enough to... You can 4 staff yourself, imprison somebody when you have, like, a 3v2, and then that guy's fucked because the other guy's just gonna leave. So your 4 staff enables you to be a lot more aggressive. And you want to max this out before this. Because you're not going to be fighting so much at this point, and this allows you to farm a lot better. Because it's a 325 nuke on a 10-second cooldown. Whereas this is just kind of like... The amount of damage it goes up isn't even worth it because... unless you have 2 nulls, a Staff of Wizardry, and int treads, you can't afford to spam this out at level 3, but you can at level 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because of the mana cost.
Yeah, and this doing 10%. So you max this out, it lets you farm faster, and then you get your items and your levels faster, and then when you get your 4 staff, then you can go do shit. And level 1 of this, like, the damage of this goes up so much, and the cooldown goes down so much, and the cast range goes up so much, that farming, fighting, saving teammates, all of that gets so much easier. Like, you can have somebody imprisoned 40% of the time with this maxed. Whereas what this does is you get, like, an extra, like, 10 in a fight, or whatever. And then it does, like, an extra, like, 100 damage over the whole fight. And this is... When this guy gets low, you want to kill him with Imprison. So he can't do this shit. Which you'd be able to do if you had this maxed.
Like, I don't know why, but for some reason I thought it was on cooldown. I don't know why.
Well, right now you can't even kill him. But if you had this maxed, you might be able to. And there you could have imprisoned yourself. It might not have saved you, but at the very least it would have made them have to chase harder. And they might even just, like, give up on it. You probably would have just got hooked and killed 4 seconds later, though. But yeah, I think this game is lost because you went for the Staff of Wizardry before the Ring of Protection. And you started to fight. It's the ring, the staff before the ring, trying to fight before you have 4 staff, and going for max orb instead of max imprison. Does all of that make sense? Do you need me to talk about it anymore?
No, I think so. But you do want to get 1 level. You do want to get 1 point in the orb, right?
Yeah. Because it's still a bunch of damage. It's still 60 or 6% of your mana pool. And it's an orb effect, so you can last hit and creeps and not worry about it. And then still like pretty decent, but yeah. So any final questions?
I am seeing some in like high level pubs. I'm seeing some people pick up drum on OD. I can't see the logic behind that. Do you think that's a decent item, or?
I guess what it would be is the early tank and the attack speed is really good on this guy because he steals more intelligence. I don't play him too much.
Okay.
And we'll be back till probably 7 or later, so do dinner without.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. What it could be is the movement speed is to catch up to somebody. It's a good bit cheaper than Force Staff, so it'd allow you to do it earlier. And the attack speed means you steal more int. But, I mean, I wouldn't do it. Maybe if you think that the game's gonna end early, or you want to guarantee that you win team fights that you take, because it is 35 attack speed and 13 movement speed for 6 fights, which is a good bit on OD, because that attack speed means more intelligence. And you can go like drums, you can go treads, drums, hurricane pike, and then like BKB, and try to end the game there. So you don't end up selling the drums before the game ends. So it could be something along those lines, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
I would say Midas is also a really good item on him.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask you about Midas.
I really like it because your contribution is your attack speed and your experience. And this will give you attack speed and it will give you experience. And then when you get Sheep Stick, you can just like melt anyone. So it's kind of like a Midas on Slark, where the attack speed means you steal more stats, but you're not a piece of shit for the next 20 minutes when you get a Midas, like you are on Slark.
Right.
So yeah.
So when do you want to get it versus when don't you want to get it? Is it like when you can get away with it that you want to get it, or?
I'd say probably when you don't think you can end the game early, and you're also not worried about them killing you so much. And then also things to consider are certain heroes that will delay the game even more, like Techie, Sniper, Pudge, shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Pudge pickers are the scum of the earth.
Yeah, I don't know who would do that to another person, just fucking pick Pudge over and over and over and over.
Oh shit, you have over 500 games with
He's
it.
my most played hero by like a large margin. Alright, so we're good? Do you have any final questions or anything?
No, we're good. I'm gonna go lose some more games now.
Alright, PogChamp. Alright, I'm gonna try and upload this in a bit, and then I'll send you the link, and then we can try and do some more lessons in like a few weeks, or whatever.
For sure. Wait, you said you got your nose cut off?
Yeah, I'm getting my